Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
Happening right now, 3 people in court accused of trying to kill a Metro Detroit businessman. Jason Martin, Richard Huffman, and his wife Dawn facing multiple felony charges. This is a preliminary hearing you're seeing here. A judge will review the evidence to decide if there's enough to move this case on to circuit court where they could go to trial. Let's go back to where it all began. This is surveillance video from Eddie Jawad's house, who owns several gas stations. He was attacked last October outside his Macomb Township home. The surveillance showing a gunman emerging from behind a vehicle and shooting at Jawad as he drove out of his garage. He was grazed in his leg and hit in his left leg and injured with some broken glass. Martin is accused of being the shooter. Richard and Dawn Huffman both worked for Jawad Investments. In fact, Dawn was the office manager. She's accused of embezzling more than $100,000 from the company. We're following today's hearing, and we'll update you on what happens next. Neighbors on edge in southwest Detroit after police discover 3 bodies in a basement. The deaths are raising more questions than answers right now. Maya Kuznicki has been on the scene for hours today.
Just leaves you kind of like, what do you do? What do you say? You know, I've been living here for I don't know how long, and there's been incidents here and there, but you don't be thinking it's going to happen in your neighborhood, but there it is.
Neighbors who live in the area are in complete shock after police found 3 men dead inside a home on Etzel Street in southwest Detroit.
Police went into the home and found 3 individuals who had apparently been brutally assaulted.
Initially, police were responding to a report of a missing person when someone approached them and said they had been assaulted in the home. That's when they made the horrifying discovery in the basement.
Didn't hear a thing. You know, no dogs barking, and there's some dogs next door over there. And
Michigan State Police assisted Detroit police in analyzing the crime scene. At one point, police towed away a blue SUV. They're urging anyone with information to come forward.
We would appreciate it if they saw anything, if they have any information that they can get to us. We would appreciate them giving a call to Crime Stoppers or call homicide section with the Detroit Police Department so that we can follow up on any information that they may have for us.
That was Maya Kuznicki reporting for us. Right now, we're still waiting on confirmation as to who the victims are, and as soon as we get that information, we'll bring it to you. Another story we're following this noon, 2 men dead after being exposed to toxic gas. It happened at a home in Clyde Township. Deputies found the men unconscious just before noon on Tuesday. 2 men had been working in a well outside the home when they were exposed to hydrogen sulfide, also known as sewer gas. It smells like rotten eggs and can be deadly in high concentrations. The victims are a 20-year-old from Riley Township and a 21-year-old from Clyde Township. That incident is under investigation. We'll keep you updated as we get more. Well, a dense fog advisory just now lifting at noon, although I wouldn't count on it being crystal clear wherever you're headed. There's still clearly fog around. That's a shot of downtown Detroit. And I wish I could tell you that's from our Windsor cam or our downtown cam, but we don't know because that's how foggy it is still down here. Let's get a check of the full forecast with Ashley Barrissey.
Well, coming off some very thick fog this morning, now we're tracking scattered rain chances this afternoon, so you don't want to leave your house without that umbrella. And we have mild temperatures, but not quite as warm as what the West Siders experienced yesterday as we rose into the 60s. It was cooler on the east side with the lingering cloud cover, but we'll hold on to the clouds today and we top out in the upper 40s. So the fog will continue to improve this afternoon, but those rain chances will be increasing. And then we have another chance for maybe even a little rain snow mix as we head in the later part of your Friday. We're going to map that out for you and also look at a much cooler weekend ahead coming up in your full forecast.
All right, Ashley. We're following developing news from the UK. Former Prince Andrew, known now as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, has been arrested by police there on suspicion of misconduct in public office. It comes amid more revelations from the Jeffrey Epstein files. NBC's Raf Sanchez is in London.
This is a fast-moving situation, but here's what we know. Former Prince Andrew was arrested early this morning by police at his home in Norfolk in the east of England and is being held on suspicion of misconduct in public office, essentially that he abused his position as a public official. Now, police are not releasing many details at this point, but we do know that within that massive trove of files released by the Department of Justice on the Epstein case were several emails sent from Andrew to Epstein in 2010. Andrew, at the time, was serving as a trade envoy for the UK government, and these files appear to contain sensitive UK government trade documents. Now, Andrew has faced repeated allegations of sexual abuse, allegations he's denied. That is not what he is being arrested for today, but we are hearing from the family of his most prominent accuser, Virginia Roberts-Giuffre, one of Epstein's trafficking victims who died by suicide earlier this year. Her family telling NBC News that they are exceptionally proud of the role that their late sister played in bringing transparency and a spotlight on this case. We are also hearing from King Charles about the arrest of his younger brother. I want to read you just a little bit of that statement. The King saying, "I have learned with the deepest concern the news about Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and suspicion of misconduct in public office. What now follows is the full, fair, and proper process by which this issue is investigated in the appropriate manner and by the appropriate authorities." It is hard to overstate how unprecedented this situation is. We have been speaking to royal historians. Nobody can think of a parallel in the modern era where you have the younger sibling of the sitting monarch in police custody and potentially facing charges. Raf Sanchez, NBC News, London.
It is quite startling. All right, Raf. 3 people recovering after a gas line exploded in Ypsilanti Township. This is at Electronics for Imaging, Inc., just off Hart Parkway. The pictures here are of a worker that shared them with us of that blast and damage to the building. The employee says someone was driving a forklift when they hit a gas line.
The manager guy was there as soon as the guy hit the hit the gas line. He was there, and then that's when he came back hysterically. "Hey, man, you know what I'm saying? Get everybody out here. Get everybody out." The whole building is like a tuna can. It's shredded.
We're told those 3 people hurt are stable at the hospital.